You are tired. Not the kind of tired that goes away after a good night's sleep, the deep kind, the kind that has been building for weeks, maybe months, and you push through, because that is what you do, because people are counting on you, because stopping feels like failing. Because somewhere along the way you decided that the cost of giving up was higher than the cost of carrying on. So you carry on, day after day, quietly, without telling anyone how close to the edge you actually are. And that specific, exhausted, quiet courage of someone who keeps going even when everything in them is asking to stop is exactly what this is for. The first thing Marcus Aurelius would tell you right now: you are not behind. I know that is not what it feels like. It feels like everyone else figured something out that you missed. Like the timeline you had in your head, the one with the milestones and the achievements and the version of your life that was supposed to be in place by now, is running months or years behind schedule. And every time you look at where you thought you would be and compare it to where you actually are, something tightens, something that feels a lot like failure. But Marcus Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present, not the timeline you constructed. Not the version of your life that exists only in comparison to someone else's highlight reel. The present, what is actually in front of you right now. And what is actually in front of you right now is not failure. It is a chapter that has not finished yet. A chapter that looks like struggle from the inside, and will look like foundation from the outside once enough time has passed to see it clearly. You are not behind. You are in the middle. And the middle always feels like losing, until you look back and see what it was actually building. The second thing, the hard thing you are doing right now is the hard thing, not a hard thing. The hard thing, the specific difficult thing that is on your path and not on anyone else's, because it was meant for you specifically. The Stoics believed in this completely, not in a passive everything happens for a reason way. In an active, this obstacle was placed here to build something in me that the easy road never could weigh. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The thing that is making you want to give up right now is not a detour from your path. It is your path. And the version of you that gets through it is not the same version of you that went in. It is harder, clearer, more certain of what it is capable of, because it will have evidence that the version standing here right now only has hope. You do not give up at the hard thing. You do not give up at the exact point where the hard thing is doing its most important work. The third thing, nobody who ever built anything real felt certain while they were building it. This is the one that most people never say out loud, because certainty sounds like strength and doubt sounds like weakness. And nobody wants to admit in a world that rewards confident people that they spend most of their time not knowing if what they are doing is going to work. But here is the truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote meditations from inside the uncertainty, from the middle of wars he did not know he would win, from the middle of decisions whose consequences he could not fully predict, from the middle of a life that was enormous and heavy and often felt like more than one person could carry. He was not certain, he was committed, and there is a fundamental difference between those two things. Certain is a feeling. Committed is a decision. You do not need to feel certain right now. You do not need to know that it is going to work. You need to make the decision again today that you are still in it. That is enough. That has always been enough. The fourth thing, rest is not the same as giving up. This is one of the most important distinctions you will ever make, because somewhere along the way, most people decided that pushing through meant never stopping, that strength meant no breaks, that asking for rest was the same as admitting defeat, and so they push, past the point where pushing is productive, past the point where the mind is working clearly, past the point where the body is capable of the quality of effort the work actually requires, and they wonder why nothing is improving, why the same amount of effort is producing less and less result, why they are working harder than they have ever worked and getting further from where they want to be. Marcus Aurelius wrote, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. He was not talking about quitting. He was talking about restoration, about going inward, about giving the mind the stillness it needs, not as a reward for being done, but as a requirement for continuing well. If you are tired right now, genuinely tired, rest is not giving up. Rest is preparation. Rest is how you come back stronger than the version that left. Stop treating rest like a failure. Start treating it like a tool, because the most productive thing you can do right now might be to stop, just for a moment, and let yourself recover. The sixth thing. This feeling is temporary. What you are building is not. Every hard chapter in the history of every human life has ended, not because the person in it was extraordinary, because time moves, because circumstances shift, because the thing that feels permanent and immovable from the inside of it always looks different from the outside. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." The feeling you are in right now, this specific exhausted wanting to give up feeling, is not a permanent state. It is a season, and seasons change. Not because you deserve for them to change. Not because you earn a break from hard things, but because that is what time does. It moves, and while it is moving, so are you. Even when it does not feel like it, even when the progress is invisible, even when the only evidence of movement is the fact that you are still here, still trying, still in it. That is movement. That is building. That is the thing that does not show up in the highlight reel but shows up in everything else. The seventh thing. Giving up is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. You are going to have a day, and then another day, and then a week, and then a month, where this does not feel the way it feels right now, where the weight is lighter, where the thing you almost walked away from becomes the thing you are most grateful you stayed for. And the only way to be there for that moment is to still be here right now. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." He was not talking about giving up. He was talking about the opposite. About using the awareness of impermanence not to create fear, but to create urgency. The urgency of someone who understands that every day they are still here is a day that the version of their life they are building got one more day of work done on it. You are still here. That means the work is still happening, even on the days when it does not feel like it, even on the days when the only thing you built was the decision to not walk away. That decision is the most important one you will ever make, and you are making it right now. So here is what I want you to hear. Not as a quote, not as something philosophical, as something real, from one human being to another. The fact that you are watching this, the fact that you are still looking for the reason to keep going means something. It means you have not given up. Not really. Because people who have truly given up are not out here looking for reasons to stay. You are, and that is everything. Marcus Aurelius wrote something in one of his darkest entries, not for anyone else, for himself, in the middle of the night, when the empire was heavy and the losses were real and the path forward was anything but clear. He wrote, "Just that you do not give up, that you do not abandon yourself or the effort, that every morning you rise to do the work of a human being, that is enough." It was enough for him, with everything he was carrying. It is enough for you, with everything you are carrying. Rise tomorrow, do the work. That is all.